few things. One, most importantly, this is going to be recorded. So just want to make sure that everybody is aware of that, because we like to post these events on our channel, our YouTube channel, and I believe we're also posting these on our website for those individuals who would like to be able to see the recording but weren't able to make the meeting today. You can share any business information you have on each other in the chat box, so please feel free to do that. Any questions that we have for Chief Harvey, if you'd also post those into the chat box, we will read them at the end, sort of a question and answer period for the chief, so we will go through that. You can also message each other individually if you want to pass information. We all seem to have that one down pretty pat, because I know on a number of calls we've been, I've received a number of messages, send a number of messages as well. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you very much for attending this meeting this morning. Again, my name is John Villa. I'm the chair-elect for 2022 for the Chamber of Commerce, but I'm also the interim CEO. So, and as my day job, I'm the executive director for the Huntington Beach Wetlands Conservancy. I want to thank you again very much for coming to the event this morning. What I'd like to do is, for those that are on the call, if you could, well, let me back up. We'll go with the official start. We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. So, Amy, if you could put the flag up for that, please.
Yeah, give me just a second. I'm opening it right now. Hold on just a second.
No problem.
John, I know that we're already recording.
Can you mute everybody, Amy? Someone.
No, it's all right. Leanne, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say the same thing Tina was saying. If you're not speaking, if you could mute, that would be wonderful.
Yes, thank you.
Give me just a second here. I gotta admit people and then try to find admitting people.
If you want to work on the flag, I'll admit as they come in for right now.
What was that?
There we go. Thank you very much. So let's go ahead and begin. I pledge of allegiance. Am I going to be the only one speaking? Okay, because everybody else is muted. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay. So a little bit about my business. I don't go into that too much detail because most of you have heard it, and it hasn't changed much throughout the years. But the Huntington Beach Wetlands Conservancy, we own 140 acres of property here in southeastern Huntington Beach. We're the largest private landowner in the city, and that's without the 49 acres that we're currently trying to conclude the acquisition of, which would be the Newland Marsh, which is the two large pieces of property. One is on Beach and PCH, and the other one is on the other side of the flood channel along Newland Street. So that's another 49 acres. So we're still open for business. We've been open through the pandemic as far as our wetlands are concerned, and we do community events, which I am going to have to rush out here at 9 o'clock because one of my community events is starting at 9. We have a prep school in Orange County that's coming in to do some work on the marshes. So that's who I am. What I'd like to do is, if we have first-time members, if you just raise your hands. Amy, if you can see who those folks are, or Tina, if you can identify if there's any first-time members. So we've got Luke there. Luke, if you want to unmute yourself, just give us a quick, short bio about it, or infomercial. Yeah, it should be on the lower left panel. There should be a microphone. If you hover over the lower left quadrant of your screen. Okay, let's come back to you, Luke. Is there anybody else that's new? That's
yeah, we have Hashimi.
Oh, I think I got it.
Oh, okay, go ahead, Luke. Sorry.
Sorry about that. Zoom. Hi guys, I'm Luke Daly, co-founder and CEO of Simply Screen. So we are doing software COVID-19 screening for workplaces, and we're actually giving out free signs right now. So a sign like this, it's just a COVID sign that you scan and take the survey before you go to work. So you know, we're completely free right now. So if your employees go to work, let me know and I'll send you a free sign.
Great, thank you, Luke. Hashimi?
All right, hope you guys can hear me.
Yep.
All right, my name is Hashemi. My wife and I own Fat Bikes here in Huntington Beach, and we also recently launched last year Plum Motorbikes.
Very good, welcome.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else on the call?
Hi, this is Cynthia Quimby. I'm with Southern California Edison. Good morning.
Good morning, Cynthia.
And my mic wasn't working the first couple of times, so I'll go ahead and just go real quick if I could. My name is Jeff Russell. I'm with Russell Realty Group here in Huntington Beach, Newport area. And I'm new to the chamber and excited to be back in person sometime soon.
All right. Okay, board members, we have, I believe, a few board members on the call. Why don't you go ahead, Bruce, start off? Bruce, there you go. Your mic
Sorry.
is, there you go.
Good morning, everybody. Bruce Berman. I'm chairman of the board of the chamber. I'm also director of the Foundation and Community Relations at Golden West College. I'd like to welcome you all this morning. Thank you.
And Barbara Mason, she's on a call. Well, she's actually driving right now, so we'll excuse you from introducing yourself, Barbara. But Barbara Mason is our secretary for the board, and she's also an employee at the Boeing company. And who else do we have? And then if we could just get a raise of hands of any of the ambassadors that are on. Got a lot of folks that are without camera, so. Okay, we're just gonna go into the next portion of the meeting. So just to let everybody know, we have a B2b Virtual Lunch and Learn event that's gonna be on Wednesday, March 24th at 11:30. It's going to be Michelle Greenwood and Michael Acuna from H&R Block talking about present tax insights and questions pertaining to 2021 tax laws. So please feel free to go in and sign up for that event. We will be, of course, sending out our email blast accordingly to remind people of the event. So that's one. The second one, the Best of Huntington Beach Awards, 2020 Awards, was actually put in motion back in December that we were going to have it, and then the restrictions came in for the county and we adhered to those. Now that they're opening up a little bit, we've decided that we are going to have our Best of Huntington Beach Awards this year. It'll be at the end of this month on Friday, March 26th. It'll be here at the Huntington Beach Wetlands Conservancy. We'll be utilizing our front parking lot. Somebody asked the question earlier, so I'll just let you know. The way we do that is we have vehicles that are parked nose to tail through our parking lot. We have open lanes for the fire department. So Chief Harvey, you'll be happy to hear that. And then we allow people to sit in their car or outside of their car next to it with a table and chair set up while we have the event. And we basically are using the length of the cars. There's our 6 to 10 foot separation between vehicles and between individuals. So we're adhering as much as we can to all of the rules, whether they're city, county, or state ordinances on our separation during this pandemic. And I want to thank you, Sue Prescott. I don't think she was going to make the call. She doesn't seem like she's shown up yet. She's actually providing our raffle ticket today, which is going to be some food from Love at First Bite. We were going to give her 2 minutes to explain who she is and what she is, but am I correct, Amy? She's not on the call yet?
Yep.
Okay. So with that, we're going to speed through and get right to our guest speaker. So we have Chief of Police Julian Harvey with us today. He is our current Chief of Police. He has served in a capacity in law enforcement for 29 years. Previously, he was the Deputy Chief and Interim Chief of the Anaheim Police Department, where he led an organization of 700 full and part-time employees and a budget of $1.62 million. So coming to our fair city it's going to be, if it wasn't the pandemic, it'd be a little bit, hopefully more relaxing than what you've seen in the past, Chief. But I'll let you speak to that note. And his other assignments, he's also been a field train officer, a SWAT team member, gang investigator, helicopter pilot, and flight instructor. And with that, Chief Harvey, I want to thank you very much. And your mic is open and you can begin. Thank you.
Okay, well, thanks for having me first and foremost. I'm looking forward to the Q&A session as no one wants to sit here and look at me yammer on for too long. So I appreciate the introduction and the opportunity this morning. And as was said, I've been in policing for about 29 years, and this opportunity in Huntington Beach is an incredible opportunity. It is a storied police department, and so I didn't hesitate when the opportunity presented itself, and I put my name in the hat. So I'm very fortunate to have this role, and it is really a testament to the department's success, is a testament to its employees, very high caliber employee that works here. We are a destination agency. We have the privilege of attracting the best and brightest from other agencies and from our communities. So we are very lucky in that regard. When you have good employees, you really are able to get a lot of work done. I want to first say I appreciate the work of the Chamber, and I'm impressed at the talent on this group as well. That a chamber is essential to any vibrant community, and this one certainly is no different. So promoting business and bringing in new business and strategic long-term approach to drawing in big, large employers is what's going to keep Huntington Beach at its rightful place at the pinnacle of Orange County business. I think everyone can kind of feel this return to normal on the horizon. We are, kind of gearing up in the police department, if you will, for a very busy summer. I think there's a lot of pent up preparations happening among people who are really, really desperate almost to get out and enjoy all that the city has to offer. And so we're preparing for that. I think this is going to be a very busy summer, which is great, which is what we all want, barring some resurgence of a different strain or something that could shut us down again. But we're hopeful that there is a return to normal coming, as are all of you, I presume. So real quickly on the role of the police department, and my approach is, I try to simplify things. The police are in the crime business, and that's what, first and foremost, what we do. And that the better we do at reducing and preventing crime, the more vibrant our businesses will be and the more successful they will be. So it can get kind of complicated in policing today with all the different roles and hats that we're asked to wear. But when you distill it down to our most core function, it's emergency response and the prevention and interruption of crime. Now, there's a lot of ways to attack that, and you have to go at it from a lot of different angles, but essentially that's what we do. And fortunately, Huntington Beach has very low crime. In fact, our numbers for 2020 were down overall 3% from 2019. There were a couple of spikes, but they were anomalous spikes, but overall crime is down. And I'll talk about some areas that we're focusing on in terms of property crimes in a moment, but I want everyone to know that it is a very safe community. And I know there are non-criminal quality of life issues that we all struggle with, and I'll comment on that shortly as well. Since I've been here, I've tried to meet with some of the key stakeholders in the business community, including Visit HB, the BID, and some key property owners in the downtown area. That process is ongoing. I'm always open to meet with anyone and everyone, as is the case with all of you. If you're so generous with your time, I'd love to sit down with each of you and kind of get to know you on a closer, more personal basis. Now, the city, I have to applaud the city's staff, the city manager, and the city council for the way they've navigated this economic downturn. Yes, Huntington Beach took a hit in terms of revenue, but the way that the crisis was managed, and I came on board, only on the tail end of it, is really a testament to a real smart approach to reducing expenses, understanding that revenues are down, but really the city has only had to absorb about a $6 million hit year over year, 2 years consecutive now, which is on a percentage basis doing a really good job. So I just wanted to comment on that briefly, that there are many cities in Orange County even that are really struggling to a much greater degree than is Huntington Beach. It's also a testament to the diversity of the revenue streams in this city, and the diversity of the businesses, and the diversity of the tax bases, and where the revenue is coming from. So very balanced, and that's also allowed the city to weather this storm fairly well. We can't do our job as a police department without the partnership of the community, and that means residents, business owners, visitors, schools. Those are the kind of 4 big ones. And toward that end, we kind of have a full-time approach to that partnership, and cultivating those relationships and nurturing them, and making sure that when something appears to be an issue, we pick up the phone, or someone in the community picks up the phone on a first name basis, and we can address it quickly. We work well with our fellow city departments. Anymore today in 2021, what we do on a large scale, we have a big footprint, we cast a big shadow. And so understanding that what we do will impact our fellow departments, be it public works or community services, community development. Again, that ability to call someone on a first name basis and say, hey, I need your help, or stand by, this is coming, and how can we mitigate this? That is alive and well in Huntington Beach. The key players in every department, a lot of them are new. A lot of them bring very innovative approaches to their job. So we are in a very lucky position with the current executive staff at the city. The current issues I'll touch on briefly, and I know there'll be questions about some of these. Of course, homelessness is a pervasive problem throughout the county, throughout the state, and it's essentially throughout the country. And coming from a city where we certainly had issues, I can tell you that the model in Huntington Beach, and I'm not saying this because I'm here, is really one of the best I've ever seen in terms of the commitment of resources, the commitment of capital for the opening of the Navigation Center. We have essentially 7 full-time employees, city employees, dedicated to this issue just at the police department alone. And so having the ability to do this in-house and not rely on a third-party vendor for your outreach and engagement is tremendous. And so the foresight and the commitment of capital to do this right is, again, I have to applaud those at City Council and the city manager and others for that foresight. So it created the infrastructure that allows us to do this quite effectively. I know there are a lot of anecdotes of continuing chronic problems in our neighborhoods involving the homeless. And I just want everyone to know, and I'm sure there'll be questions about this, that it is a very challenging policing problem, and it has to be done correctly, or we do open ourselves to litigation. And so my job is to make sure that we're we're kind of threading that needle and navigating it in a manner where we offer very compassionate services up front repeatedly. We offer the availability of appropriate and available shelter beds. Any resources that these individuals might want to avail themselves are offered repeatedly. And it's only when those services are declined repeatedly and there is a violation of the law, could be a municipal code, that we will take enforcement action. And so I know there's a level of frustration that sometimes these problems may persist for seemingly too long of periods of time, but just know that there is a process that we must follow. Otherwise, we run afoul of the law and we would open ourselves to litigation. So a success story this week was at Harriet Weeder Park. There has been a long-standing entrenched homeless people dwelling in the very sensitive habitat in that area. That's kind of a jurisdictional quagmire, if you will. There's city, there's county, there's state, there's Conservancy land, private. We got all the players together over about a 3 or 4 week period. We all talked, we got everyone at the table, and we got in there for 2 weeks straight. Our staff was in there talking to these individuals that were dwelling in this area every day, offering resources, letting them know that Wednesday, March 10th, that's no longer a viable place to reside, and it has now been cleared. So I'm not saying it's permanently solved. It will take some maintenance, but that's an example of how you have to go about these projects. You can't just come in there with bulldozers and take people to jail. It has to be done methodically and thoughtfully. Property crimes, there are hot spots around town where we have seen an uptick in property crimes. We have a bi-weekly crime meeting where our crime analysis folks put together the most recent data. It's all data driven, and this is where the crimes are occurring in the city, times of day, days of the week. It allows us to kind of focus resources, whether they be kind of plain clothes, or we can leverage technology, or just heavy uniform presence to try to interrupt those trends. People are still stealing catalytic converters, not just in Huntington Beach, but all over the place. The chemicals and the elements inside those are very valuable. And with the new tools that are available at Home Depot, battery operated saws and things, they can get under a car and take a catalytic converter off literally in a few minutes and do it fairly quietly. So that's a trend that we're working with our neighboring agencies on a task force basis to try to interrupt that as well. In fact, going to the ultimate fence where the people are buying these products is another way to go about. If you remove the market, you can remove the crimes. And then traffic, I'll touch on traffic. So Huntington Beach has far too many injury traffic collisions. There are ways that we're looking at it closely and analyzing causality and different factors. They're not all preventable, but we're doing everything we can as a police department, whether it be enforcement, high visibility patrol, working with our traffic engineering folks at the city, light phasing, education, DUI enforcement, all of those things. But I want to be completely candid with the group here, the things that are affecting this city. Injury traffic collisions are a problem, and there are far too many tragedies on our roads. And so we're, as an agency, doing everything we can to bring that down. And I'll end with kind of our presentation on our budget, our upcoming fiscal year budget. We have identified performance metrics that we're going to measure our performance year over year with. And like I started out with, first and foremost, it's response times to crimes in progress and emergencies. That's critical. When you pick up the phone and you need the police, we got to get there quickly. And the numbers here are fantastic. We're under 5 minutes. So it's 4 minutes and about 45 seconds, which is the industry standard. Is anything under 6 is considered really good. So we're exceptional in that category, but it is something we're proud of, but you can't rest on your laurels. You got to maintain that. Number 2 is crime. The crime rate, that's our business. It has to be that simple. Injury traffic collisions, like I just mentioned. DUI related collisions, it's another one. Homeless calls for service and homeless outreach and engagement are what we're going to measure ourselves year over year. As these are the things that are impacting businesses and residents and visitors. And so that's what we're going to do as an agency. So I didn't want to take too much time. I hope there's questions. I prefer more of a dialogue, but that's the police department in a snapshot. And I appreciate again everyone's time.
Thank you, Chief Harvey. I have a question for you before we get into any other questions from the folks who are on the call. As we're looking at going from, hopefully soon, to red tier, what do you anticipate some of the things you're going to have to do in order for us to get ready for that?
Well, a lot of it is education. And the good news is we have a group of dedicated officers in the downtown area that know our business owners on a first name basis. So a lot of it's going to be dialogue, one-on-one, in person. Hey, this is coming. Here are the rules. Make sure you educate yourself on the rules as far as capacity inside your business and how do you intend on enforcing that. And we're here to help you. So a lot of it is daily interaction with our businesses. And first and foremost, there'll be educational material on our website, along with the city's website. You know, some of this is going to be incumbent on the businesses, though, that we can only do so much, but these business owners need to educate themselves on the rules. And that if we create a dangerous situation because of ignorance, then, you know, that's on all of us. So we really need to do what we can to avoid that. Not everyone's been vaccinated, and in fact, far too few have been vaccinated. So we're nowhere near herd immunity. And I just anticipate that as things start to reopen, it'll be sort of an avalanche, and we all need to understand we are not out of the woods yet. And the worst thing that could possibly happen is a resurgence of the virus or a strain that requires another lockdown. And that could be devastating to business. So really it's about how do we do this smartly.
Great. Are there any questions from the folks on the call?
Yes.
There is a question in the chat. Chief Harvey, somebody's asking if the police department believes in community policing.
Yeah, community policing is a cornerstone of what we do. And, you know, I may not have highlighted that, but community policing is a philosophy, an approach that it's partnering with our community, and that includes businesses, residents, and visitors to identify crime trends and prevent them, institute problem-solving strategies to not just deal with what's in front of us on a one-off, but how do we prevent that from recurring? It could be an environmental change, it could be lighting, it could be the manner in which a business is operating, but we have tools we can bring to help the business owner make their place more fortified and prevent those crimes from recurring. But community policing is essential. We have a meeting in the Oakview neighborhood toward the end of the month where we're gonna get in there and talk about, you know, what residents need and want in that neighborhood, but it has to be specific to geographic locations. I go to all the community meetings. The needs and the desires and the impacts to quality of life are different throughout the city. They're not, you can't have a broad brush approach to policing this city. It's far too diverse. The different areas where you have different needs.
Great, thank you. There's one more question, Chief. Things are going on HB, but other than a budget, what is the reason to use a third party for traffic enforcement?
As it pertains to street sweeping?
Yeah, street sweeping.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. So the vendor that the city hires for street sweeping is there for the issuance of parking citations. And you know, every street is well signed. It's here's the day of the week, here's the times you can't park here. And invariably, you know, whether it be people forget or for what variety of reasons, sometimes cars are left there. And the vendor issues citations for that. And what we have found is the vendor's ability to do this is more cost effective. It's simply saving city dollars to be used elsewhere. And they're more effective. They take a percentage of the citation revenue that pays for the service, but overall the revenue is increased to the city and the cost is lower. So it's just simply a business decision, and that's why.
Thank you. I don't have any other messages. Wait, the messages came through.
One more that just came out.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing, go ahead.
There's one more. Paul Fenard, one of our ambassadors, is asking, you're in the business of crime, but homeless is not a crime. Is your team educated on mental and homeless issues? Do you just move them out, or how are they dealt with in your office?
Right, and I tried to explain our approach to addressing the homeless. It's first and foremost, it's a compassionate offering of resources and trying to, and sometimes it takes 10 or 12 attempts with an individual before they have a level of trust in our staff. And when I talk about our full-time staff, it's not just police officers. We have case managers who are not police officers. They don't wear police uniforms, but they know these individuals on a first name basis, and they're interacting with them every day. They know their individual needs. They know their concerns. They know their barriers to getting resources. And so sometimes it's the 12th time they say, you know what, I'm ready. I'm ready to take your offer of resources. And it's only after we get a declination of those services and there's a violation of a municipal code or some other law that we take enforcement action. It's the last thing we want to do. We want them to raise their hand and say, I'm ready for a shelter bed, or I'm ready for assistance to relocate with family. And we have a nonprofit that we use that can raise funds to bring families back together. So this is, the person's right that being homeless is not a crime. It's when there is a situation where someone is dwelling on public property, whether it be a park or on a sidewalk or in a public space like the Harriet Weeder Park, that it becomes a crime. But even though it's a crime, we still go in there and repeatedly offer resources. So it's not a surprise that they know the consequences, that this is not a tenable, viable situation. It's not healthy for anyone. And that's when we resort to enforcement action.
Okay. If anybody else has any questions, please put them in the chat. I have a question from Howard Barnes. When a third party does in other cities, they come after the street sweeping is done and ticket, then raise their revenue share. What is the policy in this for HB? HB only ticketed until the street sweeper went by, and thus people moved back onto the streets.
You know, I guess I'm not prepared to answer that one. I'd have to look at what our vendors' practice is as far as when they issue a citation. I believe it's when the truck is there. They usually follow right behind the sweeper truck. And when the sweeper truck has to deviate from their path of travel because of a car that's in violation, they issue a citation. That's my belief that occurs. So if that's different from other cities, I'm not sure, but we can look into it and get back to the chamber on that one.
Okay, great, thank you. And then one more question. Somebody is asking when the police or fire departments are open to the public. We have somebody on the call who would like to donate snacks to the public servants.
Well, that's very generous. You know, if they come to the police station, although the front counter is not open to the public yet, there is a telephone they can pick up outside if they have something to drop off, or even if they have to turn in found property or something. There is a way to come to the police station if you have business to take care of. We'll come out one at a time and interact with an individual outside. So there is a way to do that now with the public telephone that's outside the police station. As far as fire departments reopening, I'd have to check with the fire chief. The city is actively discussing when the reopening of City Hall will occur, and we want to be aligned with that date. So when City Hall reopens is when you'll see the police department reopen as well. That could be fairly soon.
Okay, great, thank you. And Chief, if you want to, yeah, go ahead.
Amy, I have a question. This is Barbara from Boeing.
Hi.
Chief, I really appreciated your presentation. I was intrigued in your bio, the references to your flight experience. Could you share a little bit about that?
Oh, Boeing, near and dear to my heart. That was one of the first McDonnell Douglas and different Boeing products. But yeah, I was one of our line pilots for many years, and I became a flight instructor before promoting out of the unit to sergeant. So it was a great period of time. It's a unique job, very esoteric part of policing, and it kind of builds your overall experience and understanding, and being able to manage a department like this, which does have an air unit as well. It flies the same aircraft that I'm very familiar with. So having that background is helpful to kind of navigate the current challenges facing, agencies with air units. And it is a tremendous tool. It is a great crime prevention tool. The ability to apprehend suspects, the ability to minimize litigation and liability from pursuits. You can just back off the car and let it go, and the police helicopter follows it to its destination. So it's a great tool, and I think my background helps to kind of keep it functioning on a level that it needs to.
Thank you.
There was one question from our group. How do we get names to you, Chief? You've asked, if people want to reach out to you so they can introduce themselves. I think what we'll do is, if rather than just everybody inundate Chief Harvey, if you want to send the information to any one of the staff from the chamber, we'll compile a list and send it to you, Chief Harvey. That way you'll have that information.
Oh, great. And, you can also, all of our emails are pretty straightforward. If anyone wants to take down my email, it's jharvey@hbpd.org. And and I believe my assistant Ingrid is on the call as well. You can get a hold of her directly, and hers is iono @hbpd.org. And just, schedules permitting, it might be a week or two before we have a chance to meet, but it'd be great to be able to sit down individually and kind of hear everyone's different story and what you do. So that's the best way for me to learn the inner workings of the city.
Amy, there's another one in here in the chat box.
Yeah, Chief, somebody's asking, once COVID lifts restrictions, how can they set up a ride along with the police department?
Yeah, that's again, a pretty straightforward process. And I believe Captain Hott might be on the call, who is our operations captain as well. But it's simply, there's a form to fill out on the police department's website. I believe there's a ride along request form. But Captain Hott, are you on? Are you able to answer that?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello, everybody. Feel free to go on and fill out that form and request one, or you can just directly email me at jhaught, HAUGHT @hbpd.org, and then I can try to set something up.
Very good, thank you.
I think there's one more, Amy, about on Debbie Vorse.
I don't see it. Do you want to ask it?
It says, who can I talk about the homeless situation due to my safety?
So is there a main contact you have at the police department that individuals, organizations, companies can talk to if they have a homeless issue on their property?
Yeah, we have a dedicated team, and so the sergeant of that team is Roman Altenbach, and there's also a homeless hotline number to call and leave specific information. And although that call might not be answered in real time, it is those messages are picked up soon after they're received, and they're prioritized and triaged, and our team gets out and addresses those as they come in. But Roman Altenbach is the sergeant on our homeless team. And again, our Altenbach is ALTENBACH @hbpd.org. And the number, the hotline number, can pull it up. It is on our website as well. I don't have it in front of me though, but there is a phone number to call and leave a message for that. And I'll be able to get that number back to the chamber, and perhaps it can get disseminated.
That would be great. Thank you.
If there's a crime in progress, I think the question had to do with safety. If there's a question as to someone's safety, that's a 911 call. I want to be super clear on that, that if there's a threat to life or property or safety that's imminent, that's a 911 emergency call for service. So that's essential for everyone to understand. Now, if it's a nuisance problem or an ongoing chronic problem, that's a different matter. But if there's a threat to safety or property and imminent, 911.
You see the other one, Amy?
Yeah, so one more question. There was a post yesterday on the FBI activity in Huntington Beach and possibly cause for 2 fires. Any comments on this, or do you know anything about that?
The fires were unrelated to the FBI activity.
Okay.
I can tell you that.
Yeah. And then another one, do you see that one?
Can we still text HB Police if encountering an issue? Do you guys still have the text? I guess if there's a text message you could text if there was issues. Do you still have that available? Is there an app or?
I believe so. I believe so, but that's again one I'm going to have to. I believe that's still in place. We didn't pull that down. If that was up and running, it should still be up and running, and no reason to pull that down. But I'll circle back and get something to the chamber with some specifics of what phone number to text to or email.
Great, thank you. Does anybody else have any other questions? You can raise your hand if you'd like to answer or ask a question before we move on. John, I'll give it back to you.
I have one more question on Hashimi.
Yes, Police Chief, thank you so much. Really appreciate all that you guys do. My dad's retired law enforcement, so I have a great appreciation for all your hard work. I have a question about the post that the HBPD Traffic Bureau recently made about electric bike laws. Could you clarify some of that?
Sure. We talked about this the other night at the council meeting. So there's a municipal code in Huntington Beach. It's been on the books for some time that prohibits electric bikes from the beach and the beach adjacent area, including the service road. And so we talked at length at the council meeting about that law, and we've noticed a significant increase in the number of people using e-bikes on the service road. There's been a handful of collisions involving the e-bikes, so it caused us to look at all potential issues that could be creating these collisions down there. And one of them is speed. Not all because of e-bikes, but speed is certainly a concern down there. And just the nature of the service road, there are people walking and people pushing strollers, rollerbladers, skateboarders, bicyclists. It's every mode of travel imaginable is down there. And so with the proliferation of e-bikes, some of which go 30 miles an hour with the push of a button, it requires us to look critically at what can we do, what should we do to try to prevent a tragedy or prevent further injuries down there. And so I'm working with our public works director and our community services folks to try to come up with some traffic mitigation strategies to slow people down in some critical areas. And, you know, they're not permitted down there. Now, we know that we are going to be working with the business community. I know you own a bike shop, I believe is what you said. So we're more than happy to sit down and hear your maybe suggestions on this because they're getting less expensive, they're getting more powerful, and they're only going to increase down there. And so it's in all of our best interest to kind of try to attack this as a group. And again, you know, the nature of our service road in the summer, you've seen it. you know, it's there's a lot of folks down there, and it's maybe not designed for really high-speed bicycle travel. So we are going to be down there starting in April, and we're going to be issuing citations for speed. First and foremost, we've been down there doing an education campaign, letting people know that really speed is the biggest problem. And I know road bikes can go fast too. There's very little regulation of electronic bicycles. They don't require a special license or training. And so it's just something for us to think hard about. And I want to be real candid. It's on that service road, it's a concern.
Excellent. Thank you so much. How would we get in on that conversation? What's the best way to follow?
You know, shoot me an email, Shemi, okay. And again, it's jharvey@hbpd.org, and we will we'll definitely solicit your input. We want to hear from. And before we even had the council meeting, we went out and talked to as many vendors as we could to let them know about the law, and that when people come and rent a bike from you, let them know about the law. And you know, it's we are seeing also people riding on the beach now, and that's strictly prohibited. And another thing that we want to make sure it gets kind of nipped in the bud, that the capabilities of these bicycles allows for the effortless travel over the beach. And you know, it's just something that we all have to think about. Is we have an image here, we have a city to promote and to keep safe. And so, you know, the proliferation of e-bikes on the beach is something we're definitely not going to be allowing.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Amy, I think John.
Yeah, no, I'm here.
Okay.
So I think we had one other question, one other statement just talking about bikes, maybe having specific areas where the e-bikes can go to is to help out with the situation you have and the safety situation you have is, you know, maybe even like putting in an e-bike trail, sort of a, either a mapping system where it's okay to ride those kind of bikes, and also would be a way to show people where you can't ride those bikes.
Yeah, that's a great point. So they're allowed to go essentially on any roadway, like Walnut Street, Coast Highway. I know everyone talks about Coast Highway being dangerous. I understand that, but Walnut kind of parallels Coast Highway, and it's got a nice big wide bike lane. There's a lot of alternatives, and I know the city's also working on developing bike paths along our drainage canals, which eventually all connect to one another. And so what I'm talking about is the service road on the beach. And it's you know, the city's portion is about 5.5 miles, and then it connects to state parks, which continue on. And we're not the only city, you know, that's struggling with this. I know my colleagues in Newport Beach and elsewhere are trying to come up with, whether it be infrastructure or, you know, dedicated lanes. Dedicated lanes are great, but you know, where's the space? Where are they going to go? How do you do it? All those things are on the table. But for now, I can tell you we are looking at some mitigation strategies on the service road to slow people down and at least try to kind of control the flow in those really impacted areas. We just don't want. We've had a handful of collisions. One involved a 70-year-old woman that was hit by a bicyclist, and she ended up in the hospital with some fairly moderate injuries. So it's just it's something we have to spend some time thinking about.
But like, you know how you guys in the summertime there's certain areas downtown you have to get off your bike and you have to walk it.
Yeah.
Is there not a possibility of, because I ride my bike and I have torn ACLs. I can't pedal half the time against the wind, but in those same areas, or expand those areas where you cannot use the E part, you only are allowed to pedal like a normal bike, and only other areas, because I don't want to have to ride on the street. I like to ride on the beach.
Yeah.
But I'm being punished because of the idiots.
Well, yeah. So there is a section on the service road, I think it's like between 6th and 1st, that has the flashing lights already, which you can't ride your bike at all, whether it's a pedal bike or an e-bike. And so that will be enforced as well during during certain parts of the day or days of the week or during periods of the year. And so that will be also an automatic violation if you're riding at all in that area. It's just so congested. You've all seen it. It's just, it's not really conducive to riding a bike. There's no lines on the ground as far as directions of travel. It's just, it's a bit chaotic in there, and it's just not a good place to ride a bike, any kind of bike.
Yeah, we don't ride there. We appreciate that actually, because there's so many people out there. I was just hoping that, you know, if I have on my electric bike, I just ride it like a normal bike when I'm in the congested areas, and when I'm far away, like trying to get back home, then I can switch it into the power mode of having it be just like how you have to walk certain areas. You cannot use the E part of it in certain areas.
Right. And, you know, often, you know, our approach to enforcement is unfortunately to deal with the individuals who are kind of ruining it for everyone, as you said. And so that is the nature of what we do. Is there are the majority of bike riders are very conscientious, and they follow the rules, and they ride at a moderate pace, but there are a handful who go 30 miles an hour and weaving in and out of people, and that's what causes us to be down there.
All right. Well, I think that's what we have for questions right now, but thank you very much, Chief Harvey, and the rest of your staff that were on the call. Very informational. We definitely have some individuals, including myself, that would love to be able to chat with you, let you, explain to you our businesses. And I know from a personal experience, whenever I've had an issue, because we do have homeless issues just here on our facility, just like Harriet Weeder, the police department has been great, really reactive. We have the same situation that Harriet Weeder does, is people look at our property and say, well, is that the city's? Is that the state? No, it's private property.
Well, yeah, and as the example I used, there's a way to go about that. You just get the right players in the room, and generally there's agreement across the board to do something, to do the right thing, and then it's just a matter of coming to an agreement. So I'll offer that up to any business owner that's struggling with chronic homelessness at your facility. Will come for free and do what we call a crime prevention through environmental design study analysis for you. We might identify a lighting issue or an area where there's thick brush or bushes, anything that is out of the way and creates a kind of a screen for that unwanted behavior is a problem usually. And we can come in there for free and help you kind of figure out low-cost strategies to get rid of that problem.
Great. Well, thank you again, Chief Harvey and your staff. And if we have any more questions, we will forward those off to your office. And then as we get names of individuals that would like to speak with you, you can either, as Chief Harvey suggested, email him directly, his assistant, or you can go through us and we'll provide that information to the chief.
Thanks again for everyone's support and for our department. I've not seen anything like it. The level of support we have in the community is on a different level. So a lot of it starts with you folks. So thanks again for your time this morning.
Great. Thank you very much. So the next order of business, Tina, do you want to go through and pick the winner for the
raffle? Yeah. The door opportunity drawing. Sorry, opportunity drawing. Love at First Bite is going to give one lucky person a family-size weeknight dinner of corned beef and cabbage for St. Patrick's Day. So I will email them your email, and then you can contact them, and you get a dinner for corned beef and cabbage for St. Patrick's Day. And the winner is Jeff Russell Realty.
Yay!
Yay! Thank you.
Okay, perfect. I will email them your email. There you go.
Okay. So we're going to go around the TV screens, I'll call it, and you get your 20-second infomercial about yourself. Tina will be timing it. So Amy, I'm going to let you manage that as we go through that. I'm actually going to be, unfortunately, getting off this call right now because I have a community event that starts in 5 minutes. So I'll be taking care of that. But Amy will go ahead and go through the roundtable to talk about your organizations. So again, I want to thank you very much for being on the call today. It was a very informative call with Chief Harvey, and yeah, thank you again, and you'll be seeing more emails from us on future events. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to start, and then when you hear your name, if you could just unmute yourself before you speak, that would be great. The first person I'm going to start with is Hashimi.
All right. Well, thank you. Yes, my wife and I own Fat Bikes, where we specialize in premium electric fat bikes. We've been renting, servicing, and selling bikes here in HB. It'll be 4 years this summer. And then also in early 2020, we launched Plum Motorbikes, where we handcraft, design, and build electric choppers right here in Huntington Beach.
Great, thank you, Hashimi.
Thank you.
The next one is Doria Miracle.
Oh, good morning. Thank you, Chamber, and welcome new members. Please join us on March 27th at 1 p.m. via Zoom with the Huntington Harbor Junior Etiquette Program and Sue Prescott events. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Doria. Next, we have Linda Verks.
Good morning, everybody. Really enjoying the presentation this morning. But I'm with on the board for the Therapeutic Riding Center of Huntington Beach, and we provide horseback riding lessons for special needs children and adults at the Equestrian Center on Golden West and Ellis. We are a nonprofit, and we run our program with the use of volunteer. It's a volunteer-all program. We wouldn't be able to have lessons without volunteers. So if you're interested in have some extra time and would love to learn more about the program, I'm going to put the phone number and website in the chat. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Linda. Next we have Leanne Gilmore from Legal Shield.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Leanne Gilmore with Legal Shield and ID Shield, and I specialize in helping small businesses protect and grow their business affordably, and offer also a voluntary benefit to employees of an identity theft plan and a legal services plan. We have a affinity partnership set up with the Chamber, so each membership that comes through the Chamber also provides revenue to the Chamber. So contact me. The website is in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne. Next, we have Howard Barnes.
Yeah, I'm Howard Barnes, the very fast home seller. I sell homes in less than 14 days and the seller pays 0 commission. No lock boxes required. You only need 2 days of showings only to sell the home. And I look forward to helping anybody that needs to move. Thank you.
Thank you, Howard. Next, we have Debbie Voris.
Hi, I'm Debbie Voris from Debbie Changes Lives. I'm a certified holistic health coach, and I help people with holistic nutritional supplements, herbals and essential oils, mindset, motion, and also meal plans. And I have a Shake Up challenge called Shake Up Your Morning. So contact me, Debbie Voris. My information is in the chat. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Debbie. Next, we have Bruce Berman from the Golden West College Foundation.
Morning, everybody. So to let you know, the college is up and running and we're doing great. There still is time if anyone wants to register for a special 8-week course. We offer 8-week courses for those that can't do it in 15. Also on April 20, from 23rd to 25th, we're going to be hosting a silent auction to raise funds in support of our students. 61% of our students lost their jobs due to the pandemic, and anything that anybody can do to help us helps them. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Bruce. And next we have Diane Dwyer from Assistance League.
Morning. We have 2 important things coming up. Number 1, we will have our Treasures by the Sea Circa 2021 virtual auction, the 7th through the 10th. If you want to learn about it, you can go to our website, alhb.org, or like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. And we believe that on April 7th, we will be able to open up our thrift shop again to a limited amount of customers.
Great, thank you, Diane. Next, we have Luke Daly.
Hi, I'm Luke Daly with Simply Screen. Simply Screen is a software COVID-19 screening app for workplaces and live events. You can call me at 657-475-1861 or go to simplyscreen.care to get your free Simply Screen sign to have your workers fill out a survey before they go to work.
Great, thank you, Luke. Next, we have Jeff Russell.
Hello, good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Jeff Russell with EXP or Russell Realty Group, brokered by EXP Realty. Just want to let you guys know I'm here for any of your real estate questions. Don't really necessarily want to sell you a house or sell your house. I just want to be your go-to for real estate. So thank you for today's webinar. I really enjoyed it. Oh, real quick, Kelly Jones is also somewhere here on the screen. She was supposed to join me.
Hi,
There she
I'm right
is.
here.
Okay, thank you. So Kelly is my partner, and we kind of are. She handles all the buyers. She's awesome with buyers, and I handle the listings. So thanks again. Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks.
Great, thank you. Thanks for joining us, Kelly. Next, we have Carrie Eisenacher.
Well, excuse me. Good morning, all. I'm having some technical issues on cameras this morning. Nice to see all of you. I am with SoCal Insurance and Financial Services. Personal insurance products. If you have any need for a free proposal or comparison, let me know. Have a great weekend, all.
Thank you. Next, we have Cynthia Quimby.
Good morning. Sorry about that. Again, Cynthia Quimby. I'm with Southern California Edison, and I'm a government relations manager for SEE. But I'm really happy to meet you all. And if you are having any issues with Edison, customer service issues, or need information about efficiency programs, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'd be happy to help escalate that and just be helpful in any way. And hope everybody has a great weekend.
Great, thank you, Cynthia. Next, we have Victoria Alberti.
Good morning, everybody. Victoria, HB Website Design, custom yet affordable websites. I do not farm out any work, so you get me. I'm a local person, and that's why most people use me. Been doing a lot of sites for folks that have lost their web person because they disappeared into thin air and they were left high and dry, and take over those. And I got a few going on right now. Brand new businesses starting up, so that's exciting too. So if you need any website needs, keep me in mind. HB Website Design. Thank you.
Thank you, Victoria. Next, we have Daryl Santa from Alpha and Omega.
Hello, my name is Daryl Santa with Alpha and Omega Computer and Network Services. We specialize in technology support for businesses. So if you guys need any technology support for your business, or if you're thinking about starting a business, or you know somebody who needs technology support, please give me a call. I'll put my contact information in the chat. Thanks for, it was a great meeting. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, Daryl. Next, we have Lily Dongo. Hi, Lily.
Hi, good morning. This is Lily Dongo from Farmers and Merchants Bank here in Huntington Beach. We're glad to invite you into the branch, especially if you're interested in participating on we're actually participating on the PPP program for the first round or second round. Please, if you're interested, give me a call. Again, Lily Dongo from Farmers and Merchants Bank. Have a pleasant day.
Thank you, Lily. Next, we have Debbie Keeley.
Hi, good morning. Debbie Keeley with Republic Services. We pick up the trash and recycling in the city. I just wanted to talk about the next event we're going to be involved in is on April 3rd. It's the Easter egg hunt for the Fountain Valley, I'm sorry, not Fountain Valley, wrong city, sorry, Huntington Beach Kiwanis at the sports park, and they're looking for vendors. So join us at that event. It should be great.
Great, thank you, Debbie. Next, we have Matthew Velasquez.
Hi guys, my name is Matthew Velasquez with Expert Tech Automotive. Pretty self-explanatory. We're an automotive repair shop voted best in OC 4 years in a row. This Sunday we have a Clean Up the Beach event. We're hosting the Boy Scouts, so if you guys want to come down and join us, I know Congresswoman Michelle Steele will be there handing out certificates to the Scouts. And the main goal is just to help clean up the beach. I know it's a pretty dirty area down there on PCH and Warner, so we're going to clean that up and give out some free oil changes for those who participate.
Great, thank you, Matthew. Next, we have Judy Osuna.
Good morning. My name is Judy Osuna. I'm with Alzheimer's Family Center. We're an adult day healthcare facility. We're located on Bouchard in Indianapolis. We've been closed for a year and doing our services through Zoom, and we're hoping to open up in May. So more to come, but thank you very much for everything that you do. It was a great talk today. Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. Next, we have Gail King. Gail, are you there? I'll come back to Gail. And next, we have Angela C.
Good morning, Angela Clitheroe, President CEO at Huntington Beach Credit Union, your hometown financial institution. We are serving everyone who lives, works, worships, or goes to school in Huntington Beach. Apply online at huntingtonbeachcu.org for a clean sweep loan, and you could win a Roomba too.
Great, thank you. And next we have Cindy Ford.
Good morning, everybody. I'm a little camera shy this morning, sorry. I am here representing the Huntington Beach Police and Community Foundation. I'm new with the foundation. And those of you that don't know what they do, they are a foundation that facilitates community support that fosters and enhances a stronger working relationship between the Huntington Beach Police Department and those who live, work, and play here in Huntington Beach. Thanks.
Great, thank you, Cindy. I think I got everybody. If I didn't get you, can you raise your hand?
There's one phone. I don't know who the phone is. Is that Barbara Mason?
No, that was Angela that just spoke.
Oh, no, there was another phone person after Cindy, but I don't know if they're on.
The 714-45.
536-457.
Yeah, that was Angela. I think she has on her phone and then also.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, I think that's it.
Okay, great. If you guys want to put your information in the chat, we will be saving this. We will send it out to all participants so you guys can have each other's information. Also the information for the police chief and how to contact them. All of that will be in the chat. We will save it and we will send it out to all of you participants. We thank you all for joining us this morning.
And I also will be sending out everybody a email list of all the guests that attended today. So if you do not want your email on this list, just put it in the chat and I will delete your email from it. But everybody will get an email list of all the participants today. That way you kind of network together.
Yep, perfect.
Amy is Bruce. Tina, when you email out everyone their the list of the participants today and their email addresses, could you add in, if we have it, the link to be able to, if they want to rewatch the this morning's show, that they, if you could put a link in there, they'll know how to get it?
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you.
Perfect. I think that's it. And Latina, unless you have anything else?
No, just our next B2b, which will be great. We have 2 guest speakers from H&R Block. We'll talk about all the tax insights for 2021 for your business. So I think that would be very helpful. So if you have any other questions, you can email.
Yeah, and that event is on March 24th, just so everybody knows. It's a Wednesday. It'll start at 11:30 to 1. It's a B2B during the day.
Yep.
For tax stuff. You can register on the chamber website.
Yes.
Thank you all for joining us this morning. Everybody have a great day and a great weekend and stay safe.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.